Chapter 1. Where art thou? Where art thou? Genesis chapter 3, verse 9. My subject here is the first question that God ever asked of man. You will find that question in Genesis chapter 3, verse 9. Where art thou? God asked the question of Adam. Adam had sinned, and on the evening of that awful day of the first sin, the voice of God in its majesty was heard rolling down the avenues of the Garden of Eden. Adam had often heard God's voice before, and the voice of God had been the sweetest music to Adam until this day. Adam knew no greater joy than the glad communion with his Creator and his heavenly Father. But now all was different. And as the voice of God was heard rolling through the garden, Adam was filled with fear and tried to hide himself. That is the history of every son of Adam from that day until now. When sin enters our hearts and our lives, we seek to hide from God. Every sinner is trying to hide from the presence and the all-seeing eye of God. That accounts for a very large share of the skepticism, infidelity, agnosticism, and atheism of our day. Sinful man is trying to hide from a holy God. Men will give you many reasons why they are skeptics, and many reasons why they are infidels, agnostics, and atheists. But in the great majority of cases, the real reason is that by the denial of the existence of God, men hope to hide themselves from the discomfort of God's acknowledged presence. That accounts also for much of the neglect of the Bible. People will tell you that they do not read their Bibles because they have so much else to read and are not interested in the Bible. They will say it is a dull, stupid book to them. But the real cause of man's neglect of Bible study is that the Bible brings God near to us as no other book does, and men are uneasy in the conscious presence of God, so they neglect the book that brings God near. This also accounts for much of the absenteeism from the house of God and its services. People will give you many reasons why they do not attend church. They will tell you they cannot dress well enough to attend church, that they are too busy or too tired to attend church, that the services are dull and uninteresting. But in the great majority of cases, the reason men and women, old and young, habitually avoid church services is that the church brings God near and makes men uncomfortable in sin. Their desire to hide from God, more or less distinct, leads them to stay away from church. But Adam did not succeed in hiding from God. Neither will you succeed. No man ever succeeded in hiding from God. God said to Adam, "Where art thou?" And Adam had to come out from his hiding place, meet God face to face, and make a full declaration of his sin. Sooner or later, no matter how carefully we have hidden ourselves from God, every man and woman will have to come out from their hiding place, meet the all-holy God face to face, and make a full declaration of just where they stand in his presence. I believe that God is putting the question of the text to every man and woman, to every Christian, and to everyone who is not a Christian. Where art thou? Where do you stand in regard to spiritual and eternal things? Where do you stand in regard to God, heaven, righteousness, Christ, and eternity? Where art thou? Every wise man will be glad to face and answer that question. Every truly intelligent man desires to know just where he is. In business, every wise businessman desires to know where he stands financially. In our country at this time of year, every careful businessman takes an inventory of his stock, totals his accounts, calculates his credits and debits, and determines his assets and liabilities. He wants to know where he stands. He may discover that he does not stand as well as he thought he did. He may find that he is in debt when he hoped that his capital exceeded his liabilities. If that is true, he wants to know so he may conduct his business accordingly. Many a man has made a shipwreck of his business through unwillingness to face facts and find out where he stood.